Hello and welcome to the Legends and Lads Cricket Podcast. I'm Sri Krishna Maitreya, your host for this episode. And this episode is brought to you in collaboration with The Byline, an independent online news platform delivering credible and in depth coverage across business, finance, sports, and more. You can check them out at www.thebyline.in for insightful news and stories that keep you informed. So this episode will be hosted by me, that is Maitreya, and Chiru couldn't join because of his exams, and Rakesh sir and Vijay sir are busy. So today we'll be having a special person here, that is Suhas Kulkarni. He's a member of the Legends and Lads cricket podcast team. He does all the behind the scenes work. He's a social media coordinator for us. So I'm really happy that he could join us today. So over to you, Suhas. So how are you feeling? First time you're being on the screen. So I'm really glad that you could join us today. So your thoughts on joining us on this episode?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for giving me an opportunity to be on this wonderful podcast. I always listen to it, and you all make such wonderful content. It's truly an honor to be on this podcast. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm very excited for this podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, so coming straight to the topic. So we'll be reviewing the India versus West Indies Test series. So the India versus West Indies Test series, it went as predictable as it had to go because everyone expected it would be a rout from the Indian side, and that's what it was. Because the first test, especially, was somewhat very less competitive. The West Indies team, just uh, could hit only 162 and 146 because the Indians managed to hit 448 in their one innings that they batted. And few highlights would be KL Rahul's century, obviously Dhruv Jurel's century, and Ravindra Jadeja's century. So from the Indian side, those are the highlights. And coming to the Indian bowling side, I think we all got a glimpse of how Kuldeep is actually a really dangerous bowler, but we have overlooked him a lot the last few years. So we'll be coming to all of these aspects shortly. So to give just a kind of a quick summary for all our listeners. So the first test, India won by an innings and 140 runs. There wasn't any competition at all. And the second test, India won by 7 wickets, but this proved to be quite competitive because it went till the fifth day. Even though, yeah, India finished it off in style. Just in the second innings, the target was 121, and India hit 124 for three. But yes, because we have seen West Indies hit 390 in the second innings, in what we thought would have been an easy innings victory. West Indies proved to be quite resilient in the second test, quite competitive. That only made me feel that the cricket is still alive in the West Indies camp because after the losses of many players going away to play other international T20 leagues and not prioritizing their country's test cricket or the country's national team, I think still the players who are left are giving quite a competition, and they are showing that they are capable of doing wonders only if they get the right resources and right focus. So we have seen a century from Campbell, the century from Hope. So these all things only prove that West Indies is really a capable team actually, but just that they haven't been having the consistency from the players because many players haven't been committed to the team. I think that is what is lacking in them. But again, it was a really wonderful test series. After a long Asia Cup, that was again another story because it had lots of ups and downs and controversies. But after that, a test series again back at home. The last time we were at home, it was a loss to New Zealand that had completely changed the course of Indian Test cricket because after that series, lots of changes in the team. So again, now coming to the new leadership, Shubman Gill, he's back. First time he's captaining at home after the England series at England. So coming to things one by one. So first, I'll be asking you, Suhas, about Kuldeep Yadav. So Kuldeep Yadav has played just about 14 or 15 tests from the time he has made his debut. But if you see our bowling coach Mone Morkel, he has played the same number of tests from the time Kuldeep has made his debut, and he has already retired. I think about more than 3 4 years back, and he's coaching the Indian team now. So, do you feel that by prioritizing, Ashwin, Jadeja, and when we used to look up for a backup spinner, we never even thought of Kuldeep in Test cricket. We always used to prefer Washington Sundar. So, do you think India missed, a golden period in Kuldeep's career, because we have seen how dangerous with the ball he is, and his stats also prove us that in the very few tests that he played a really great role. So, talk about how do you feel that Kuldeep is like a missed chance for Indian team, and now I think it's his time to rule the Indian tests especially. So, talk about Kuldeep.
Yeah, you brought out a very valid point. Kuldeep Yadav is a very wonderful bowler, and he has a great wrist spin. If you see many of the ODI matches, the way he takes wickets are just wonderful. But I think he was sidelined due to the legends like Ashwin and Jadeja being there in the team. And when you're playing at home, you already have two frontline spinners like Ashwin and Jadeja. When you are picking a third spinner, you'll always go for the extra ability like batting. So always India went with either Washington Sundar or Akshar Patel. And when you go outside for away tests, they are generally fast bowling pitches. So there is a place for maximum one or two spinners. So that time you'll obviously go with your frontline spinners. And when there are legends like Ashwin in the team, I think Kuldeep Yadav, he is a great bowler, but he was not yet proven in Test cricket. So he was sidelined. But since now Ashwin is retired, I think this is the time for Kuldeep Yadav to dominate Test cricket. And I think he's 30 years. He has still more 5 to 6 years left, because spinners generally retire at 36 or 37, something like that. So I think this is his time, and he is making great use of it. He is a wonderful bowler, and he is the future of Indian spin cricket. He shall be the leader of Indian spin bowling.
Yes,
And
rightly said. Yeah, even I too feel the same because, as you have rightly said, there is a lot of time, especially for spinners, because they tend to have a more playing age. Because I feel compared to the fast bowlers, less wear and tear for them, and more longevity for them, as you have rightly said. And then coming to the other star spinner from the Indian side, Ravindra Jadeja. But this time we'll not be talking about his bowling skills because that's what everyone already knows about. But we'll be talking about his underrated batting skills, I should say, because in the last 9 Test innings that Jadeja has played, he has hit he has hit 70 50s. So look at the score, 70 50s. In that, he has had 2 centuries. So imagine the skill Jadeja has with the bat, that that is highly underrated. Because if you look at Jadeja, everyone first goes to left arm spinner. So now they have to look at Jadeja as the left hand batsman first, and then come to the left arm spinner. So talk about how Jadeja is rocking with the bat and with the ball, because Shane Warne previously had called Jadeja the rock star. So I feel Jadeja is really proving it right with both the bat and the ball, and I think he's proving to be one of the most valuable players for the Indian team right now, especially given the kind of experience he has, and given the kind of performance he's been showing time and again. So talk about Ravindra Jadeja in general.
yeah, I think Ravindra Jadeja is undisputedly one of India's best spin bowling all rounders. If you, I can say even the one world's best, because he has been consistently delivering with both bat and the ball. Initially, he was a bowling all rounder, but I think after 2020, he has been incredible with the bat. Whenever there is a collapse, you always look at Jadeja. If you look at England, if you go to England also, people talked about Shubman Gill, people talked about KL Rahul, but you should never forget the contribution of Ravindra Jadeja. He he has proven to be the man of crisis for Indian cricket team. Whenever there is a collapse, you always rely on Jadeja, and he has improved his batting skills very well. He can play fast bowling, he can play spin bowling, and he also, he's a great bowler. So he's one of India's most valuable players. He has a great experience. He's a senior player, and I believe he has not got the recognition he deserves. Because
Yes, uh, yeah, and I feel the same. But if you see from the last, I believe from the England tour, people have been comparing him to Ben Stokes. So I feel that is one of the right apt comparisons that he's getting up to his recognition. That is, I feel more in the recent times, especially after his exploits in the IPL 2023, where he finished the innings for CSK, or fast forward, he has been in the 2019. Previously, he has been in 2019 semi-finals. He was there along with MSD. One of the standing pillars in that finals. Who gave us hope for a lot of time. So after all these standout performances, I think that's when Jadeja really got his recognition. So as you rightly said, he was underrated for a really long time, but now I feel his experience is being valued because Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara, every one of those senior players of our childhood era, those elite test team that we would always look up to, have all retired and now the newbies are in. So a right person to guide them, I believe, would be Jadeja with his kind of experience and with his kind of skill, performing it even at this age. So that is something I really liked, about Jadeja. And then coming to ask you about Bumrah. So my personal feeling about Bumrah being chosen in this series is I believe he could have been rested for the West Indies series because the West Indies series would have been won even with an India A team. That's what my personal feeling is because the West Indies is a really lower line team, and before they came to the Indian for the India Test series, they played against Nepal, and even Nepal defeated them. So I feel that should show you what kind of the level that West Indies have gone down to. So putting our prime bowler Bumrah in such a test series, I believe, is an utter waste of talent when it comes to the fact that he has to manage workload. If there is no point of workload management, if Bumrah is not that kind of a fragile injury guy, then I would have easily gone with him playing all the matches, no problem, beat any country. But if it is the fact that Bumrah has to now play some matches and leave some matches, I would prefer Bumrah playing the Asia Cup, taking a break from the West Indies series, and then playing the whole Australia tour because Australia tour is something that happens once in a while and it is more higher in quality compared to the West Indies tour. So now Bumrah is not being chosen for the ODI series against Australia. He's being rested. Whereas he could have been, playing the ODI series and being rested for the West Indies series. So Suhas, you speak about this. What is your thoughts? Do you feel Bumrah was rightly, the selectors did the right thing by making him play the Test and not the ODI series against Australia, or do you feel otherwise?
yeah, my opinion, many people might differ with me, but I believe that Bumrah was rightly chosen for the Test series because logically thinking, the ODI series with Australia is a standalone series, and this Test series it is a part of WTC cycle, and so these two matches are a part of the WTC cycle, and by mistake, even if we lose them, it will prove to be very costly to India. We cannot take chances, and even West Indies also has quality players like Shai Hope and Varikan, and they are they are quality players. Yeah, I agree that they lost with Nepal, but still that does not reduce their quality. And as you saw in the second test, Shai Hope scored a century, and it was a bit of trouble to us. So, and I think Bumrah also he has been prioritizing Test cricket over other formats during the past few years. He has a great passion for Test cricket. So I have no problem in Bumrah playing Test series over the ODI series. But yeah, as you said, ODI series is also very competitive, and Virat and Rohit Sharma are coming back for the Australia Test series. So there are a lot of eyes are on the coming ODI series. So yeah, I wanted to know your opinion, and I wanted you to share your excitement about the return of Rocco.
Yeah, obviously, it is a really great thing because it's been so long since we have seen Rohit and Virat Kohli play. And as a true Indian cricket fan, I believe, irrespective of who your favorite player is, I think seeing both the legends back in the team playing for the India, I think is one of the great memories that you will be cherishing because you don't know when these legends have time. Because I remember being, seeing Dhoni play in the international cricket. I didn't know that 2019 World Cup semifinals would be his last because everyone would obviously expect a very grand farewell. It expected like it will be an announced farewell. There'll be a lot of celebration. Those kind of things you expect for very such big players, but you don't know when these players retire because they have everything they want, and the moment they feel that they have represented India enough number of times, and if they feel their body is not going to compete at that level anymore, they will just announce their retirement because a player should give his best as long as he's playing for the Indian team. But once he feels even 1% less, he has to take the step back so that another person can replace him and represent the country at the highest level in a more better way. So that is why these players take a step back when they feel their time is up. So we don't know when Rohit or Virat Kohli will feel the same way. So as long as they are playing, we should cherish them because uh, the way they play, they're legends of the game. Because we see in the 1930s, 1940s, it was Bradman. Then there was lots of cricketers through the decades. Each one: Kapil Dev in 1980s, Sri Gavaskar during that era. Then coming to 2000s and 1990s, it was Sachin. So each decade had their set of players, and I think our decade's players, it is MSD, Virat Kohli, and Rohit. And MSD has already retired. Virat and Rohit have already retired from the other formats and are present only in the ODI format. So obviously, all the eyes will be on this series because it is a comeback of the two great legends of the game, and especially for the Indian fans dying to uh, get a glimpse of them because we know how awesomely they play, how much they entertain us, how much they love the sport, and we would obviously want some entertainment. Especially it's against Australia, so would really love that, and especially with the rumors going on that they might retire, they might not be there for the 2027 World Cup. Obviously, seeing their form, everything, we want to make sure that they will be there till the 2027 World Cup because their dream is to win a World Cup for India, and they have to be present because they are legends of the game. They gave everything for it, and especially Rohit Sharma again, working on his fitness. Virat Kohli, he gave a kind of a cryptical motivational tweet the other day, that he will not give up because giving up is a sign of losing. So all these are positives for India, and really really excited that they'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. Every Indian cricket fan will be glued to the television on October 19th. All of us are eagerly waiting to watch Rocco back again, and I think we want to watch the cover drive of Virat Kohli, the pull shot, and the aggression of Rohit Sharma in the power play. And we want to watch them as much as we can because we don't know up to when it will last. So, and this is the feeling of every Indian fan. And now coming back to the India West Indies series, as you saw, because Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, they are the main crowd pullers. So because they are not playing, we saw very less crowd turnout for the matches. So this is a concerning sign actually. So is there any solution for this? And I wanted to know your opinion on this. So yeah.
Yeah. So as you rightly said, there was really low crowd turnout because we have seen especially for the first test against West Indies in Ahmedabad. The Ahmedabad stadium is a really huge stadium because we have seen it has a capacity over 1 lakh, and I don't think Ahmedabad is really set for playing these kind of test matches. Maybe an India versus Australia test match would have been better, because they will have more, more number of crowd pulling, because India versus Australia is a big, test. Or maybe if it's an IPL game will always have crowd, because it is for a short amount of time, just two innings of 20 overs, so that's about 4 hours. And then it's in the night time, so the crowd, the enthusiasm, and IPL, there's another level of craze. Or maybe if it's an ODI match, people would have showed up in better numbers. But again, seeing it's a test match, and from the rise of T20 cricket, the number of people watching test match have decreased, and that is a fact that we have to accept. And again, playing a lower ranked team, not just a lower ranked team, a much lower ranked team, and playing it in Ahmedabad, a stadium that is actually used for, events like the finals of IPL or the finals of the World Cup, as such a stadium being used for such an, a very drastic, if you see comparatively to the two events, it is a paradox. So I personally believe in a solution that Virat Kohli had, mentioned about so many years ago. He had said that we have to keep like around 5 to 6 venues that should be dedicated to Test cricket, so that when any country that visits India, they will be knowing that these are the, probable venues, and these are the type of pitches that we'll be mostly playing in. So they'll come prepared, and these venues should be those venues that have a kind of a rich history in Test cricket, like Chennai, Delhi, uh, Bangalore. So these kind of few of 5 to 6 stadiums that have to be reserved for Test cricket. So whenever we come to play Test cricket, it is these venues that we should always play into, because if you see in England or in Australia, there's always a few grounds. Like in England, it's Lords or Leeds, Manchester. No, only in these places they play Test cricket, because there are many other stadiums, but they do not use them. Compared to, if you compare it to Australia, it's always, you know uh, it is MCG, or it is Perth. Only 3 4 stadiums are always there. It is Gaba, and it is not like every random stadium they keep playing. Yeah, there is some rule, like the state associations are there, for India, and they have to keep rotating and giving matches to all the states. Yeah, that is there. But you can do that for the ODIs, or you can do that for T20s. But Test is something I believe which has a more richer legacy compared to the other two formats, and that has to be preserved. So if you compare the crowd that arrives at Lords, and if you compare it to the crowd that arrived at Ahmedabad the other day, it's a shame on the BCCI. It's a shame for the Indian cricket fraternity, because they couldn't plan a test properly, wherein you get that atmosphere of a test cricket. The match is happening. It's a test cricket match. It's a WTC cycle match. That kind of atmosphere was nowhere present. The crowd was, like a Ranji Trophy match, I would say. So that was a really concerning thing, as you have said, and I think this is the solution that they have to look into.
Yeah, exactly. The I also agree with you that the India should make about 5 to 6 venues properly for Test cricket. So actually, if we allowed only 5 to 6 venues for Test cricket, we can invest more on them and we can increase the quality of those stadiums. For example, Lords and even Southampton, they are just beautiful stadiums. India, despite having that much money, we are not able to invest more on stadiums. So if we put dedicated 5 to 6 stadiums, we can improve the infrastructure, and we can also create local fan bases for Test cricket. So even if any match, any international match, let it be India versus Zimbabwe or India versus West Indies, there will always be huge support. There will be a great atmosphere for the growth of Test cricket. So I completely agree with you on this. Yeah. And now let us move on to Nitish Kumar Reddy. Nitish Kumar Reddy is the upcoming fast bowling all rounder for India, and he might be the person which India needed, because India, when we go to away tours, we need a fast bowling all rounder, a person who can both bowl and bat, so that it increases our depth. So he was rightly selected in the West Indies series, but even after giving a follow on, after I think India bowled 190 overs, but Nitish Kumar Reddy was not given a single over to bowl. So I wanted to know your opinion on this. Yeah,
Yes, so about Nitish Kumar Reddy, yes, you rightly said we need these kind of all rounders who can really bat and bowl well. But again, coming to the reality of the ground situation, yes, Nitish Kumar Reddy could have bowled, but if you see the ground there, it is more spin friendly, and I think in such situations, I think Nitish Kumar Reddy would have proved futile because him coming there and bowling on a spin friendly pitch is nothing but just a simple waste of time because India, if you see the way they were playing, India was trying their best to wrap up the match as early as possible and have the largest win as possible because that was the intent they were playing with. So you see, Kuldeep Yadav was very effective. Jadeja was really destructive, and Washington Sundar also was, picked up a few wickets. And then, if you want to switch over to the fast bowlers, they had Bumrah there. So, in such situations, I believe giving Nitish Kumar Reddy bowling was again, yeah, maybe not quite, you know, not quite the situation that they would have wanted. But again, for managing the workload, especially when the wickets are not falling, because we have seen centuries, we have seen a couple of centuries from Campbell and Hope in the second innings of the second test. And during that time, India bowled more than 80 overs, I believe, 70 to 80 overs. And we have seen an image that has gone, viral over social media. Siraj, with kind of very strained. They were pressing his feet and he was taking rest with uh, an ice pack over his head. So you could see the strain that Siraj had taken from bowling so many overs, a long spell. Siraj and Bumrah both were really tired. So maybe to reduce the strain on the main bowlers, we could have gone with part-time bowlers like Nitish Kumar Reddy, because I won't say him as a complete part-timer, but yeah, an all-rounder bowler. So we could have used him because we have seen in many of the olden days tests also, Sachin used to bowl a lot. We have seen Rahul Dravid, sometimes bowl. We have seen Sehwag bowl. So all of these players, they used to come in handy in the olden days because they used to take the strain off the main bowlers for some time, because Test cricket is a long format. It is requiring a lot of stamina. So during such harsh times, the bowlers would be substituted by these part-time bowlers. The main bowlers would be substituted. So I think something like that should have been used. I don't know the management's technique of why they were going on with the main bowlers again and again. But yeah, when you have an option, especially in a game like Test cricket, where you have enough number of days and enough number of overs to experiment, you have to use Nitish Kumar Reddy, to try that variation, especially when wickets are not falling. You have to go with the other options you have left. You can't go with the same options which are not working out. So yeah, Nitish Kumar Reddy should have been used because in the 9 tests that he has played, he has had 8 wickets, and that is quite okay for someone who can be given bowling. His economy is 4.17. Maybe not very impressive in Test cricket, but yeah, you can go to him to bowl. Especially when things are not going right at all, he is an option to look into. So coming to the fact that he didn't get even one over to bowl, so yes, I think he should have been given, especially in the second test, because that is where India was struggling to get them West Indies to get all out. So yeah, he should have bowled.
yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, especially in the second test when 190 overs are bowled, I think Nitish Kumar Reddy could have been given, I think, 2 to 3 overs, and also it would be like giving him a match practice. Since he is not that great bowler, if we make him bowl more, he can get the experience. He can get more practice, and that would have improved his bowling. But
Yeah, yeah, carry.
yeah, but again, as you said, since it was a spin bowling pitch, so more preference was given to Washington Sundar over Nitish Kumar Reddy. So yeah, it is up to the discretion of Shubman Gill. And now coming to the ODI captaincy for Indian cricket team, I think Rohit Sharma was removed from the ODI captaincy and Shubman Gill was made the captain. So this is highly controversial. and many Rohit Sharma fans are highly upset with it. So, just wanted to know your opinion on this. Yeah,
Yes, so coming to it, I believe there are two ways to look into this, because one way is looking at from the point of view as a fan, or I would say even from the point of view of Rohit Sharma, because the last match that Rohit Sharma is captain right now for India is a Champions Trophy final, which he has won and which he has made the whole country proud of. And now coming to the fans' point of view, obviously they would want Rohit Sharma to continue because he uh, took us through till the finals of the 2023 World Cup, where we just lost the one most important match. That was the only match we lost. And then fast forward to the 2025 uh, Champions Trophy. We had won all the matches, we had won the trophy, and then even the 2024 World Cup, Rohit Sharma has got us. So if you look at his track record, especially in the white ball cricket, it is extraordinary. So taking away captaincy from him is something that is not really at all advisable. But now let's take this from the another point of view, that is from Ajit Agarkar's. So having three different captains for three different formats is something that is not quite easy to work with, especially for the team management, like the coach or for the selectors, because each captain will have their style of working, and we want a team that is, uh, kind of same. I wouldn't say all the 11 will be repeating in all the three formats, but it is, somewhat the core should remain the same for all the three formats. So you have already Suryakumar Yadav as the captain for the T20, and you have recently appointed him, so you cannot change him. So obviously, at least up to the 2026 T20 World Cup, it will be Suryakumar Yadav. So once the test team's captaincy was changed, obviously they'll want to have at least a similar captain in two formats, and the next best format to have that change coming for is in the 20. I mean, sorry, in the ODI team, because the 2027 World Cup is a little bit far away, and this is, I think, the right time so that Shubman Gill will learn from Rohit Sharma. The experience that Rohit Sharma has will be carried on by Shubman Gill directly. It's not like Rohit Sharma will lead us till the 2027 World Cup and then retire once and for all. There'll be a leadership vacuum in the ODI team all of a sudden, and then Shubman Gill has to figure out from the scratch, how to do, how to work. So this is more of a better transition, because there is learning as well as there is mentorship from Rohit Sharma, who's playing within the team. So that is something, the guidance, I think, is one point of view to think about, because if you see in 2017, 2 years left for the ODI World Cup, MS Dhoni hands over the captaincy to Virat Kohli. That was a smooth transition because it was done by MSD himself. But this doesn't look smooth because it didn't come from the mouth of Rohit Sharma first, because it was from the selector's side, because Rohit Sharma was reluctant to give up the captaincy because, yeah, he had his own reasons, and those are also pretty strong, solid reasons. But if you look from the other side, the selectors had all right because they wanted a transition to take place. So for the future of the team, which is right from their point of view. So yeah, this whole controversy is a little bit of gray area. We can't say who's right, who is wrong completely, and I think only time will tell, because only time will prove if Gill's leadership qualities are really extraordinary, and if he has really gained something from learning from Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, staying in the team as players and not in the leadership role. So only time will tell us how far this transition is successful. But until then, all we can do is just speculate. Who's right, who's wrong.
yeah, that's true.
And then this, will end this episode. This will bring you to the conclusion of this episode. Thank you, Suhas, for this wonderful conversation. It was really great, having you and discussing about all these hot topics that was been going on from the last 2 to 3 weeks. The West Indies series, the upcoming Australia series. Really excited for what the Australia series will bring up, and really excited that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli will be back. And thank you so much for joining us today, and hope to have you back again whenever possible. So really thank you once again.
It was great fun doing this podcast. I enjoyed a lot. Yeah, I'm always available whenever I get a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you.